video, we're going to create custom metrics inside our Data Studio report. So there are a lot of use cases for this, but let me just run through a few of them. So one way we would use custom metrics is to combine different metrics. So literally summing up, for instance, metric A plus metric B, or dividing them to get certain ratios. You can simply use any form of calculation with these metrics. Another way would be to track progress on goals. So you might set a goal for this quarter of 215 new customers, and you're counting your customers with metric C. You can divide those two together to get a percentage and knowing how far you are at hitting that goal. You can also combine strings, concatenation, as well as lower strings to group data together. So lowering is, for instance, if you write Facebook in your UTM parameters, sometimes with capital F and sometimes with lower f, you'll get different sources of traffic, but it's still the same Facebook website. So if you just use a function to lower everything, you can group them nicely together. So let's just go into our Data Studio report and go through these one by one. So to create custom metrics, we have to go into our resource and then manage edit data resources. In this case, I want to change the metrics in our G sheet. So I'm going to click on edit there. And then in the top right, we can add custom fields. So I want to do that. Okay. So in this case, I just want to use the metrics that we have. So for instance, I want to take, what shall we do? Let's take lifetime value and multiply that by 2 as an example. So this wouldn't really be a very practical example, I'm afraid, but just to show you. So we can show lifetime value times 2, and then we call this field name LTV doubling times 2, yes, and then we hit save. Just save this field. Perfect. And then we click finished in the top right. So here we click finished. And then close this field. So let's just plot a graph and see if this actually works. Let's plot that. Then we change the metric to LTV. And if we then also add a metric of LTV doubling, we should see a graph that is exactly twice as high. Perfect. So that seems to work. It's a bit unclear though. So let's change this to a plot. Can't really see it that way. Let's do a bar chart. Perfect. So this here you can clearly see that it's twice the size. So that's one way to create a custom metric by using formulas. So the second example I want to show is to create sort of trend lines. So let's say our LTV is, it's around 6,000. Okay. So we want to create a trend line of 10,000. So 10,000 is the goal. So we want to hit 10,000 by the end of the year and want to know how far we are from hitting that goal. So if we go back into edit data sources, click our G sheet, and click on edit, click on add the field, and then LTV, and then we divide by the value of our goal, so 10,000. Save. Okay, LTV goal percentage. Save. And then click on finished, close this, get rid of this one, create a new chart. Okay, so LTV is generally above 10,000. So we should have a higher number. So let's just change that metric to 20,000 quickly. So click back, edit, go into LTV goal, say, click on the FX and make this 20,000. Click on update, finish, and close. So 20,000 our goal. So if we had this LTV goal in there and get rid of the record count, we can kind of see the percentage. So this is going down from around 30% all the way to 5%. So revenue is actually declining. To see if this is correct, we can add the LTV as a sum. Perfect. So now the graph changed, so we want to have one of them on the right hand side. So let's put the percentage on the right hand side. Great. And yes, that should work now. So we have sum and LTV percentage. And where is the blue line? That's the line, that's the line. Make that a bar chart. There we go. So we can kind of see the blue line as the bar chart, what percentage of goal we are. So we see the total value in our revenue on the left side. So we go from like around 4,000 down to around 1,000 per day. And we see what percentage of our goal is. So 1,000 is around 5% of our goal. And our goal is 20,000 as we've set in our custom metric. So this is how we can create trend lines. If you just want to have the trend line, then just only show the goal. And then let's change it back to a line. So this is our goal representation. So you can do that with a custom metric. Then the fourth part would be to concat certain metrics when there are strings. So let's have a look into how we can do that. To show you an example, I'm going to create a table. A table with landing pages as a dimension. So the dimension will be landing page from our Google Analytics example data. So page, let's see if we can find page. Yes, like this. So here we have two different dimensions that are both text, and there might be a scenario in which you have two dimensions and you want to combine those two. This might also be the case with source and medium, which is actually a better example. So we might have as metrics source and medium. So we can do that as well. Let's see, source and let's go with medium. So that should give us even a 4. Perfect. So I don't know why this is a metric. Usually have be a dimension though. Yes, that's better. Source, medium, and let's call this users. So I shouldn't have picked them as dimensions. So let's call this users. Okay, so what I would like to do is combine page title and landing page as in one string, and then also source and medium in one string. This is not going to fit, so let me just narrow it down to source and medium, get rid of those page titles. So I'm going to use source and medium and combine them in a third dimension. So we'll go again into manage edit data sources. In this case we want to use the Google Analytics data, but we can't edit it. Okay, that's kind of a problem. To solve this, let's go into the reporting data. I'm going to change the data source there. We're going to add the field. I'm going to use a function. Go back, edit the field, add a field. I'm going to use the function concat, and then we're going to concatenate source with medium, not median, but medium. Okay, and then we call this concat source and medium. Save. Click on finished, close this. So for this example, I picked the wrong data source, so let me just change that. Perfect. And now I can add a third dimension, which is called concat sort and medium, which should be the combined string of those two. As you see, it has combined those two. Okay, so one thing you might notice is that there is no space, so we can just add a space as well. Go back into edit, find a particular field, so concat, click on the function. Now we're going to add a space in the middle, like that. Finished, close. I might not have saved that though, so you should have saved it. So go again, edit, concat, function, yeah, didn't save it. Add a space between quotations, hit update in the bottom right, then click finished, then close. And then close that again. So now you see there is a space in between, which is more readable. You could also do a dash or anything like that. So that's how you can concatenate different strings, which might be very helpful in certain cases. And then the last example would be to lower strings. So the opposite of capitalizing it. In this case, I don't have anything with a capital. So let's see if we can actually capitalize medium, for instance. So let's use this same function, but add a capitalization in it. So go back into source, go into reporting, find our concat function, click on the function. Now let's see what functions we have available. So we wanted to do, instead of lower, I don't know why it keeps popping back, it's a bit annoying. So the concat function. So we have lower. So we probably also have upper, which would be capitalization. Upper, like this. So it has an upper function and it has the concat function. Yes, this should work. Don't know why there's an error. Expected a, should be one. Okay, there are two here, should be only one. That's fine. So update this. Click on finished, close it. And now we should see the source and medium concatenated and in uppercase, as you can see here. So this string has changed from lowercase to uppercase. Again, another function you can use there. So there are many functions available. Just go into the editor and see what is available. Generally uses AppScript, so it's JavaScript functions that are available. So you can do a lot with that. But if you have any questions or anything is unclear or you don't know what the restrictions are, leave a comment, leave a question, and we can make a more detailed video about that or just reply to you right away. So have a look into what you can do with Customatics for yourself, and let me know how whether this was helpful or not, and what I can do better or what I can show you next. So hope this is insightful, and see you in the next video.